Hello, this is Randy from Funeral Funds of America, and in this video, we are going to take a look at the Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company and their website, and specifically this $9.95 a month plan, because boy, people get confused about this thing. And when you look at what they say right here, they say guaranteed acceptance life insurance without medical exams, health questions, or rate increases. And some people automatically think, oh, I can get $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, even $50,000 worth of insurance for $9.95, even if I've waited until I'm 77 or 8 or 9 or 80 years old. And unfortunately, nothing can be further from the truth. Let's take a look at a couple things here. Let's look at the pricing and the terms real quick. So we'll just say in Texas here, there are no health questions required, no physicals to take the plan. But look at what they say here. They say we cannot guarantee, or we can guarantee your acceptance because of a 2-year limited benefit period for death from non-accidental causes. What that means is they ain't going to pay if you die of a health or medical reason in the first 2 years. Sucker. And then they say, well, if death's from non-accidental, you know, what they'll do in the first 2 years is they're going to give you the premiums paid plus 7% interest compounded annually. So if you die in the first year from anything that's like a health or medical related reason, they are not going to pay a penny of death benefit. What they will do is return your premium plus an additional 7%. And you may go, oh, well, that's understandable. That's okay. I'm in good health. No, it's not. You should get insurance that pays out from the very first day. And also, most other companies are returning 10% interest. There's even some out there that are up to 30% interest. Why would you settle for 7%? That's the lowest. That is the lowest return of premium interest in the marketplace, at least that we know of. And then it says here, immediate protection for accidental death. Well, you know, we buy insurance because especially as we get older in our 50s, 60s, and 70s, because we're worried about dying from health or medical reason, not accidental death. So I certainly don't want to minimize that, but most people have health issues, not accidental death issues. And keep in mind here, the accidental must occur within 90 days. So if you had an accident, you have to be very compliant and die within 90 days. Or if you're in Oregon or Utah, it's 180 days. But anyway, coverage availability, age 50 to 85 years old, and blah, blah, blah. We're going to close this down. Let's jump in and get a quote, and let's see what $9.95, how much that's going to actually buy, and you will be disappointed. I'm fairly sure, as we just hear a lot of disappointed clients kind of doing this. So here we are, male age 65, and what we're going to do here is we're going to select coverage amount. We're going to find out how much $9.95 buys for a 65-year-old male. All right, let's see. There we go. So for $9.95, one unit would only pay for $896. So tell me, if you want to get buried, which is over $10,000, how is $896 going to help you? So on the TV commercials, what we hear so many of our clients say is, well, they make it sound so affordable, like $9.95. Well, yeah, $9.95 is $896. Let's bump this up and see what about $10,000 would be. Let's see if we can get up there. Let's see. So we know one unit is that. Let's kind of go up to 10 units and see what that would be. Well, even that's only $8,000 coverage. Let's go higher. Oh, there's 10 right there. 8,096. Let's go 12. Let's go back to 11 here. There we go. So 11 units for a 65-year-old male with a 2-year waiting period is $109. So what would that cost you if you actually went with a different company that didn't have a 2-year waiting period? Oh, let's take a look. I've got it set up over here. So we've got $10,000 right here. And level coverage right here, that means first day coverage. Keep in mind that Colonial Penn is this guaranteed issue, super expensive. It's much more expensive than the level graded or modified. We don't really recommend modified. But let's take a look. So we've got a male and Texas 1/1/1958. Height and weight's okay. This is non-tobacco. Colonial Penn doesn't ask if you're a tobacco smoker or not. That's one reason the rates are higher as well, too, because they will accept anybody. In fact, they would accept you if you were diagnosed with cancer and you're going to die in 2 months, because they'd take your money, but then they'd return it back to you 2 months later if you died of a health or medical reason with 7% interest. It wouldn't even make sense to take that policy out in the first place. So we're going to hit get a quote right here. And again, let's take a look here. I will be generous and say this is 10,000, but it's not. It's 9,856. 11 units is $109.45. If you were to go with a different insurance company, and on this next quarter, we work with most of these insurance companies. Look at this. Again, $10,000 right here for the same. That's actually more coverage than Colonial Penn. Would come down here. You could get first day coverage for $51 a month. $51.17 versus $109.45. You are going to get first day coverage with this company, Trinity Life Insurance Company in this case. They're a great company. They're not in all states. They're in about 26 states right now, but they've got amazing prices and really great company. Simplified issue level. That level means that it is first day coverage. Woohoo! You do not have to settle for a 2-year waiting period. But okay, so let's take a look at this. That is 51. Let's round it just 51. That'd be, that'd be $102 if we doubled that, and it's still less. Let's do this. Let's go and look at how much coverage you could get for the same amount of money, that $109. We are going to pump up the volume here. Let me do this right here, though. If you just go down this entire thing, you can see pricing on all the different insurance companies. Now, obviously, as we get down to the bottom, we don't recommend some of these. So like AIG, this is a guaranteed issue. This is equivalent of the Colonial Penn policy. It's got a 2-year waiting period. But look at that. It's $86 instead of $109. And this is one of those companies where they've got to return a premium that's 10%, not the 7% from Colonial Penn. And there's also some, this is our quarter that we use here, and it just tells us what different types of plans you qualify for. But let's go back up to here, and I want to max this out. Let's do 25,000 and see what that would come in. We'll go off the lowest company right here. So let's go get the quote. So that's $124. So that's a little bit more than the 109. Let's play around with that just a little bit more and see what you can. Let's try 22,500 and see if that gets pretty close. There we go. 117, 116. Where are we? Oh, we're still a little more. Sorry, this is just kind of playing around with the numbers here. Let's see, 21,000. Let's try that. And get a quote. There we go. So now we are looking at $21,000 worth of insurance. And you could get that through Trinity Life for $104, and that's first day coverage. Good stuff, right? Or you could get 11 units for $9,856 for $109, and you're going to have a 2-year waiting period. So many of our clients have got in touch with Colonial Penn, and they've seen the commercials. Oh my gosh, Colonial Penn advertises like crazy on television every 15 minutes, it seems, right? Do you know how expensive it is to advertise on TV? Perhaps that's why their pricing is so high. Also, Another reason that Colonial Penn, they only sell their own product. They're called a captive agency. Another reason they really like this product, I would imagine, is because it takes no underwriting experience at all. They will accept anyone, even if you were going to die tomorrow. It just wouldn't pay out if you died tomorrow. You've got to live 2 years. And, as bad as the pricing, as bad as a lot of our clients would say the pricing is, you're going to be overpaying this for the rest of your life, the absolute rest of your life. So even though you would have coverage after 2 years, you're overpaying massively. So if you just needed, again, the 10,000, let's go change that here, 10,000. If that's all you needed, that is $51. So you are literally paying more than double for this. It's not going to cover anything kind of death in the first 2 years if it's health or medical related. And you're going to be overpaying by twice. Why on earth would you buy a Colonial Penn? Why on earth would you be tempted by a marketing offer by an insurance company that seems too good to be true? And boy, $9.95 a month, it just seems too good to be true. But then, why do you think their marketers came up with that? It's kind of like why does the fish bite the hook? Because there's bait on the hook, right? Otherwise, nobody would bite the hook. So the $9.95 is the bait on the hook. Just understand that you're going to get sold a product that is probably not ideally suited to what you want, need, or desire. So just keep in mind, there's a lot of different insurance companies out there. Like Trinity Life is a great company. Transamerica, Mutual of Omaha, great companies. We would recommend or not recommend some of these companies based on very specific criteria. Number one would be, how many approvals do we get? If we can get 7-8% more approvals with one company than another, that makes a big deal because you don't want to get denials in your record. Also, some companies out there don't approve right on the spot. You've got to wait 3-4 days. And we don't like that. We don't want to work with companies like that. The companies are out there that have the underwriting, and they can get you answers right on the spot. Why wouldn't you do that, especially when they're less expensive? So Lumico is another company we hear from. High price, it's not terribly high price, 51, but we also take a look at the companies that we work with, and we want to make sure that they have really great customer service so that you're not stuck on the phone and just not getting the answers that you need. So there's lots of different options out there. Also, it does depend on your health. So we can actually enter in some health impairments and medications up here, and that will help us understand which companies would accept you if you had some specific health issue going on. Again, when you're looking at Colonial Penn, they don't care. It's got a 2-year waiting period. You could have just been diagnosed with dementia or congestive heart failure, or you could have just been put in hospice, and they will accept you. It's just that you got to live 2 years before it even pays out anything. And then after that, in today's example, you are literally overpaying for the rest of your life. Why would you do that? The folks that are looking at this type of insurance are typically on a fixed or limited income. And the one thing they don't have, enough of is money. Otherwise, we wouldn't be looking at this insurance. So why in God's green earth would you ever overpay for insurance? So if you need help with this, I hope we've given you an understanding of what to look out for. We're not saying Colonial Penn is a bad insurance company. Unless you want to overpay, I guess. Unless you don't want immediate coverage. They're a fine company. All companies out there exist for a reason. So some people just want to buy a product because they saw it and they're familiar with it on TV. Boy, that's the last thing you should ever consider. You should definitely always go for first day coverage right off the bat, and then go for the pricing, and something that's just fair priced, not necessarily always the the lowest price is one that you should go with, because a lot of times the ones that are super low price, they've got really kind of finicky underwriting or very, very specific underwriting that a lot of people wouldn't qualify for. I do know that right here, you know, these top three are all great companies. We typically wouldn't recommend Transamerica or Mutual of Omaha at this time for very specific reasons. We could help you understand that. Trinity Life's a great insurance company. Lumico, we typically wouldn't recommend. Liberty Bankers, pretty good company. Aetna. So there's a lot of great companies out there that we have options that if you do have unique health or medical issues, that we can typically get you first day coverage and save you a lot of money. So again, doesn't hurt to check out Colonial Penn. Just understand that when you get on their website and you enter your phone number and your email, that they are they're going to vigorously, shall I say, vigorously reach out to you. And you know, if that's your deal, is to talk to telemarketers on the phone, that may not be a bad way to go. Most people we work with don't like that. So I hope I've given you some insight into Colonial Penn, and also just kind of expose you to some different options out there and see how we actually help people. Oh, one other thing here. If you want to get pricing, go back to our website. Every page on our website has a quarter where you can fill it out, and it's going to take and deliver you to this very exact quarter that I was using today. And you'll be able to actually see your pricing. Now, we don't recommend you look at like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 insurance in most cases, because a lot of times that's just going to be a little too expensive. We don't recommend over-insuring as you get later in your years. This type of insurance, get just what you need for now, or maybe even in the coming years, just inflation-proof. But for a cremation, we'd typically look at around $5,000 to $7,000, and then for a burial, typically around $10,000 to $15,000. So don't go up and pull out a $40,000 quote and go, oh, I can't afford that. That's too expensive. You don't need $40,000 as a rule. So kind of look at that $10,000 to $15,000 range for a burial, like I did today. But if you have any questions, reach out to us. You can fill out our quarter. You call us on our toll-free number. We're happy to help. We'll have some info in the comments description section below. You take care. Have a nice day. Stay safe. Bye-bye.